I'm out here in Toledo, God's country. I gotta do a quick rant, and I keep it quick. This guy, Sam Bingy Freed, is one of the great pieces of shit of all time. It's not just that FTX has collapsed and Alameda, and he's just the biggest. It's the way he's tweeting. Hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. It's Sam the Afro piece of shit. Hi, y'all. Hi, guys. And then a 10 thread code tweet like, well, I don't really know what happened. And then his interview in the New York Times, he's like, I'm just going to play video games. I'm surprisingly having no problem sleeping. Yeah, we screwed up. I guess we got no money. At least that's what people say. Bye, guys. Sorry, lost your all money. Meanwhile, this guy lives in like, like brothel in the Bahamas with like 10, 15 people who run FTX. They're all each other, all these MIT nerds. He's like the number 2 donation guy to Biden. His father or something is working with the SEC on legislation. What is going on? Hi, y'all. It's Sammy Bing Freed Afro. I'm so cute. Tweet H. I lost all your money. Drag this clown out of there. Like, I didn't have any money in FTX. I'm lucky. I was in Gemini. But if I lost like $1 million or people lose their life savings, say, hi, y'all. He's acting, I'm just playing video games and unwinding. I'm actually not that upset. People say we're going out of business. Maybe. Oh, hi, guys. I guess this buck's this guy. And by the way, how is this guy, how are people not mentioned? Imagine I can't breathe without people criticizing it. This guy's living in an apartment with like the entire company on the top floor, just running a fest like Bang Bros, running FTX, stealing people's money. Hi guys, it's Sam. This guy, get this guy out of there, drag him through the streets.
What's going on, guys? It's KW here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. As you could tell by the intro, Dave Portnoy is obviously very upset about the FTX debacle and everything that's been happening. And right now, you can see Bitcoin is still stalling out at these same levels. Now, we had said that there was a potential of maybe some form of a bullish breakout, but obviously, the longer we stay at these levels, the more it's leaning towards that 50-50 chance, right? Why is this happening? Well, it's not helping that the S&P and stocks are actually having a down day, but also the fears of everything that's been happening with FTX, the crypto contagion. How deep does this go? You can see right now, Wall Street Bitcoin shorts are actually at record highs. You can see right here, there's about 13,601 contracts short, 13,170 long, making it net short 430, which is one of the highest, instances of shorts basically on Wall Street ever. Now, does this mean we could get a short squeeze? It's possible. Would it be short-lived? Well, guys, what we need to talk about before we get into the charts, and trust me, we're going to get into all the charts on Bitcoin, but again, I'm going to put that at the end of the video because once again, guys, we just have more news coming out. Now we have to deal with this situation right here. If we head on over, you could see, and I'm going to start with the SBF situation. We're going to talk about that first, and then we're going to talk about some of these other companies that look like they could be affected. And honestly, one of them was quite shocking to me specifically, and I'm going to go over that in a bit. So as usual, guys, I'm not trying to spread FUD. I'm just reading what we're seeing. I'm relaying the news to you because I want to help keep everyone informed. Now, after this, really cryptic tweet that SBF was tweeting, he basically said there was too much leverage, more than I realized, a run on the bank and market crash, exhausted liquidity. So what can I try to do? Raise liquidity, make customers whole, and restart. So he's pretty much asking for a second chance. Now, Kim.com says you need to come on our FTX space in 7 hours and answer some questions. If you want to have any chance to raise the money, you need to repay your customers. Then you have to be honest with the crypto community. If you do that, then you may have a shot, and we are willing to help you. Now, I'm shocked in this case that anyone is even interested in, potentially raising or, contributing to any liquidity being raised by SBF. Now, I do wonder, is it because so many people are currently desperate because they had their funds in FTX? Maybe that's the reason that you're seeing some of these guys come out and say, hey, you know what? Maybe if you do the right thing, we'll try to help you. So are they really on his side, or do they just want to get their funds back? You can see over here, this is the creator of Dogecoin. He says, yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we should give people who commit enormous, massive fraud a second chance to commit enormous, massive fraud again. The jig is up. Everyone knows what you really are. You lose. Good day, sir. But then oddly enough, we have Kevin O'Leary over here talking to Rand Neuner, and he asks him the question, would you be interested in, getting involved with SBF again? And this is the answer that he gave.
In your door again and said, look, I failed in my last venture. I have a new crypto venture. I need money. Would you back him?
That's a great question. No one's asked me yet. I think we can all admit, you can love him or hate him given what's happened, but he was one of the most brilliant traders in the crypto universe. He also built one of the most robust platforms. We used FTX actively. It was a very robust platform that allowed us to get information on a compliant basis. So I really like what he built.
Would you back him?
The answer would be yes.
Okay, so once again, this goes back to, are they just saying this because they have so much money tied up, right? Kevin O'Leary said he had about $1 billion in FTX. So is he just saying this to sort of get on the good side in hopes that maybe he can get his funds back? Do you think he really believes this? Are these guys really willing to back SBF after all the damage that has been done? And of course, a lot of people say he's just the fall guy. There's these bigger people at play, right? There's this guy, Dan Friedberg, and all these others that could be involved. Okay, that is one instance, but this is how it is rolling over and spilling over into the space, and this is why we're seeing the fear in investors. So you have breaking news from Mario Nawal. He's the founder and CEO at IBC Group, and he says the BlockFi conspiracy, using users' money to buy GBDC, dumping it at a premium on retail investors. They raised money and survived and continued with their lending business. Then they got hit with the Luna collapse. SBF comes in and things get juicy. SBF pretended to bail out BlockFi, buying BlockFi for $25 million, taking more money from BlockFi, somewhere between $250 to $600 million, and then lending it to FTX, which gave it to Alameda for trading. FTX's bailout of BlockFi made BlockFi users less whole, about $600 million, a nail in the coffin for BlockFi. So once again, I don't know who was using BlockFi. As you guys know, it's nothing I've ever spoke about or promoted on this channel. But again, these lending platforms are really feeling the squeeze. Here is, first of all, they're going after Tom Brady, Giselle, Steve Curry, Larry David, and anyone who promoted FTX. They say that they were actively participating in offering and sale of unregistered securities in the form of yield-bearing accounts. Now, should we really be coming down on these celebrities, on the influencers? Did they really know what they were getting involved in, or were they just offered a paycheck and, hey, sure, I'll just talk about it, right? Again, distracting, the public, the media, right? Of course, we have to worry about, fining Kim Kardashian $1 million, right, for, promoting Ethereum Max, but yet this guy steals billions and billions of dollars. We publish a report in the New York Times, just kind of talk about how he's playing video games and, sleeping, and then they're coming after the celebrities. Again, guys, misdirection from the actual problem at hand. Now we have Circle, Gemini, Luno, and Hut 8 Mining among major crypto companies that had exposure to digital currency prime broker Genesis, which has halted customer redemptions and new loan originations, which its lending division, as they're basically saying, due to the fallout of FTX's collapse, which is continuing. So Hut 8 Mining said in January 2021 that it opened a Bitcoin yield account in partnership with Genesis Lending Business, Bitcoin IRA, a company allowing clients to purchase crypto for their retirement accounts, unveiled an interest earning program offered through Genesis in February. Now, they're saying we have zero exposure to Genesis Lending at this time, but of course, who can we trust, right? Genesis tweeted its decision to temporarily suspend withdrawals and new loan originations Wednesday. This decision was made in response to the extreme market dislocation and loss of industry confidence caused by the FTX implosion. Another source last week told Blockwork that Genesis was functionally insolvent. Sources were granted anonymity to discuss sensitive business dealings. Now, how far has this situation with Genesis potentially extended? Well, we have Circle, right? These are the guys that are real big behind USDC. They are Genesis parent digital currency group signed a $25 million deal in 2020 aimed at accelerating global adoption of USDC in mainstream finance. As part of their strategic partnership, Genesis would help Circle add new USDC yield and lending services services. Now here's the kicker. Circle listed 0.25% annual percentage yield on its product on Tuesday, and then today that figure has been reduced to 0%. Why has it gone from 0.25 now to 0? Now they're saying everything is fine, right? Venture capital firm Digital Currency Group, the company's main backer, wrote in a series of tweets that the custody and trading arms of Genesis have not been affected. They say Genesis appears to be trying at all costs to avoid bankruptcy. This is according to a source which is saying that it's admirable but costly. So apparently they're attempting to avoid bankruptcy, but it may end up costing them more than they would like. Will this end up being the final result? Not to mention the fact that we have Grayscale also potentially affiliated with this, right? Because we had GBTC in the middle of all of this. Now, they say that their products are operating business as usual, and operations have not been impacted by recent events after Genesis Global Capital halted withdrawals. Grayscale said it's not a counterparty or service provider for any of its products. Genesis Global Trading, a separate entity, is an affiliate of Grayscale. The company addressed its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which it said remains backed by underlying assets that are safe and secure, held in segregated wallets in deep cold storage by our custodian, Coinbase, right? And, going back over here, I don't remember where it was, but you could see also, Gemini. Now, this is the one that kind of shocked me. Gemini, they have a bit license, right? They're one of the very few that can even operate in the state of New York. And they say that, they were obviously affected in some way. So what happened was their Gemini Earn product has paused withdrawals and exchange. They did release a statement saying, we are aware that Genesis Global Capital, the lending partner of the Earn platform, has paused withdrawals and will not be able to meet customer redemptions within the service level agreement of 5 business days. However, the exchange also noted that other products and services are unaffected, stating that Gemini is a full reserve exchange and custodian. All customer funds held on the Gemini exchange are held one-to-one and available for withdrawal at any time. Now, Gemini, from what I'm aware of, is one of those exchanges, right up there with Coinbase, which is compliant. They are FDIC insured, and they do have to provide, audits on a regular basis. So this would, I'm not saying, take your funds off Gemini, put your funds on Gemini. I'm just saying Gemini would really, really shock me if they ended up going bankrupt or insolvent over this. So, I don't know about all these other guys, and I don't even know who to trust at this point. Gemini going under would really shock me. Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, those kind of names, right? Those types of exchanges would really, really shock me. But, at this point, guys, anything can happen. And this is why we're seeing that fear in the market. They are sort of preparing for the worst, right? In fact, according to a Coinbase Outlook report, they're saying that this could really impact the crypto winter, saying it could last pretty much all through next year. The reasons being poor liquidity that could last until the end of this year, which is also obviously dependent on the Fed and the interest rates and whether or not people want to take on these risks. They also pointed out that stablecoin dominance has risen to a very high 18% of the total crypto market cap, which obviously is showing that people are very scared right now to sit in things like maybe Bitcoin or Ethereum or altcoins, and they're starting to move a lot of their funds into USDT or USDC or stablecoins in general. They also noted that the industry is likely to see second-order effects following the FTX debacle as more information emerges on which crypto businesses have exposure to FTX or Alameda. And I still think we're in that period where we're seeing the trickle-down effects. We're seeing the avalanche, right? It starts up here, and by the end, it just consumes all of these guys that had exposure. So obviously, what can you do as the end user? Well, obviously, keeping your funds in cold storage, learning right now. There is so much information. I don't care if you get it from my channel, you get it from another channel, you get it from TikTok, it doesn't matter. There is a lot of information on self-custody, how to be your own bank, how to set up a hardware or a paper or even a hot wallet. You can use something like Exodus. It's not as safe, but it's still probably safer than leaving it in the hands of some of these exchanges at this point. Now, I do believe that at the end of this, when it's all said and done and the dust settles, we are going to see exchanges survive, right? It's one of those evils that you kind of need in a way. Yes, there is decentralized trading, but then that also runs into contracts, smart contracts. Do they have bugs, right? So it's kind of like the lesser of the two evils. Who do you trust, right? But I do think it will clear up the space. There could be a lot of, legislation coming out. And, just getting back to, BitBoy, because he was the one that kind of originally started bringing this to light. I don't want people to get the wrong impression here. They're talking about famous Democratic Party donors: Bernie Madoff, Jeffrey Epstein, 92%, Harvey Weinstein, 92%, Sam Bankman, 99%, right? But at the end of the day, guys, it's not really about the Democrats or the Republicans. Look, it doesn't matter what side you're on. There are wrongdoings on either side. There is nefarious deals in all aspects of whatever politics. It doesn't matter which side of the equation you take, right? There are going to be these sort of creepy, weird, I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, but basically things that are unethical and should not be happening. And it happens all throughout politics. It happens all throughout the world, right? So, in yesterday's video, I got a couple comments, oh, it's a Fox News clip, you're bashing Dems. Guys, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just showing you the facts. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust any of them, okay? Just blindly trusting government has really never worked out historically for anybody. So that's kind of like where I stand on that. But, nevertheless, guys, it is trickling over into the traditional system. The House Financial Services Committee is going to be holding a hearing next month on FTX's collapse and the broader implications for the digital asset industry. The committee says it expects to hear from the companies and individuals involved, including SBF himself, Binance, the exchange, and others. Oversight, according to Representative Patrick Henry, is one of Congress's most critical functions, and we must get to the bottom of this FTX customer, and especially for the American people. It's essential that we hold bad actors accountable so responsible players can harness technology to build a more inclusive financial system. And this is what I was trying to say on my Twitter yesterday. By the way, if you guys are not following me on Twitter, just make a Twitter account, get involved. There's a lot of stuff happening on Twitter, and it's a lot easier to share information faster. I've been tweeting a lot more on Twitter recently, due to everything that's going on. So if you don't want to wait for the videos to come out, it's at the Crypto Zombie. I do have a verified check mark, so you guys know it's me. And going on, you have Representative Maxine Waters. Now, she's a Democrat, right? So we're not saying either one of these sides here. She says the fall of FTX has posed tremendous harm to over 1 million users, many of whom were everyday people who invested their hard-earned savings into the FTX cryptocurrency exchange, only to watch it all disappear within a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, this event is just one out of many examples of cryptocurrency platforms that have collapsed just the past year, right? So that's the situation, guys. I think it's very obvious right now. A lot of people were affected by this. And, it seems like everyone kind of was using, these guys were using Coinbase reserves. These guys were using Genesis, who had, exposure to FTX. It's just this big mess of just lending back and forth, over leveraging, using customer funds. And these bad actors are going to be called out over time, and the space will get cleaned up. I do believe that we were due for a great flush out. I did not know it would be this massive. I figured, the great altcoin holocaust or something, like all the altcoins go to zero and, the securities, the SEC deems them all, unregistered securities, and that would be the washout, which is probably coming anyway. This, to me, really caught me off guard. I was shocked the amount of irresponsibility that was being, injected into the space by these guys with what they were doing. So, yeah, this is a black swan event. That's exactly what this is, guys. So, getting back to Bitcoin right here, we could see that we're still just kind of hanging around this area. And as I said, I was anticipating a move at least up to the bottom of this, at least up to about 17,200. Breaking through that would give us a target of about 19.5. And, that rally is still possible. But the longer we consolidate here without, and especially the fact that we're kind of putting in lower highs over time, unfortunately, the next area really of support is around $13,800. Now, I don't want crypto to fall down to those levels, but is it going to end up happening? That's about it's about a 15% drop from this level. It's really not that much when you think about going a lot lower. We are just kind of very indecisively sitting on this level. Two very important supports. We have this main support at around 16.3, which I've been talking about. And then we have this other resistance, right, which was holding us down here, right? And now it's kind of acting as support. But we're pretty much just putting in, one of these, just sort of stars where it's like very indecisive in the price action, which is why, a few days ago, And, you know, I'm not saying I don't think there's still a potential of a bounce. I'm just saying if you had asked me a few days ago, I said that it was looking more likely. But as time is playing out, the fact that we're still staying down here, we're not seeing that buying pressure coming in, it's telling me that these events have affected the crypto markets. And this is why right now, I'm honestly putting it at about a 50-50 chance of a breakout or a breakdown just because of the uncertainty, right? Trying to trade these levels, even though we are having still higher support, I would say that right here at around, again, at around that $16,200, $300 level, you know, worst case scenario, if you want to take these wicks, then, you know, falling down today, that would put us at around 15,980, right? Falling below that, then you are risking at least coming down here and retouching where we touched with the previous 15,005. You know, of course, could that be a giant double bottom? It could be, right? We could have, you know, it could be a double bottom. But as I said, guys, it's one of those times where, you know, you look at the technicals, you're seeing it play out. It should be doing one thing, but you have these fundamentals, you have these news-driven things that are just slamming the market down even harder. I mean, if we just have a look simply at the S&P, yeah, the S&P is struggling, but look at this move that the S&P had off the bottom right here. So this is October 13th, right? So the S&P is up 15% since October 13th. Where is Bitcoin since October 13th? Bitcoin is down about 25%. So we're seeing some real inverse correlation here, right, between the stocks and Bitcoin. And that's what's a little bit concerning. Now, I said there is something that could save this. If we get some kind of a major wick like this, I mean, we still have 15 days almost. You have 14 days depending, right, until the end of this month. So, you know, could we get that wick to the upside? It's possible. You know, closing above this level right here, 19,400 roughly by the end of this month would be insane. That would be great. But keep in mind, you know, a drop to 13, this is 17 up, and, you know, 15 down is 13.8. So, I mean, like I said, it's kind of like that 50-50 either way. But as I did point out, you know, this legacy trend right here, you know, has never failed us with the exception of right here. And we've never closed a weekly candle ever below this level in Bitcoin's history. And this has been going for 5.5 years. So falling below this level, you know, it could be potentially bad for Bitcoin, and it could be that long-term winter that everyone's talking about. As you guys know, obviously, long-term, I always remain optimistic on Bitcoin. We do have the DXY clearly falling out of this channel, almost pushing on the bottom of this blue zone, which would be, you know, the next area of support. And if it does fall below that, then we could see the dollar come down literally to almost 100 even, right? Now, theoretically, that should be great for things like Bitcoin, crypto as a whole, you know, stocks. Stocks seem to be reaping the benefits, right? Bitcoin, not so much. And it's because of everything that's going on right now. Now, I do believe that if these stocks do continue to rally, you know, you can see there's a clear descending broadening wedge here. This area right here would probably start to take stocks back down again, unless they could just have some miraculous breakout. But that would be bad for Bitcoin. And you could see, you know, that might be somewhere around, you know, mid to end of this year. There is a chance that Bitcoin could rally super quick to catch up with it, maybe to squeeze out some of these shorts, right? Which in that case, you could see a massive potential 18-20% Bitcoin rally. But just be careful, because as we go into the end of the year, we may also be hitting major resistance on equities. So lots of different things to be looking at right now. Obviously, just kind of keep your eyes on it, guys. Just following the chart here, trying to really just see what's going on, trying to follow some of this news that's coming out. Ultimately, at the end of the day, self-custody, you know, put your Bitcoin in cold storage. If you are trading, then that's just the risk you take. You know, I take a risk. I have some money on exchanges. I do, because I actively trade, and it's just kind of, like I said, the lesser of, you know, the two. You can go decentralized, you can go on centralized. At the end of the day, guys, you know, as soon as you turn over your keys, as soon as you give your coins to someone else, it's pretty much not yours anymore, which is honestly why I was surprised with the whole Gemini thing. You know, they do have the bit license. They do have to provide proof of reserves the same way that, you know, Coinbase gets audited as well. But at the end of the day, guys, you simply never know. So be safe out there. I love you guys. You're awesome. Hope you have a great day. I will continue to break down everything I see. Like I said, right now, I'm not really giving any like trading signals, because I myself am waiting to see what the markets are doing. The longer we stay in this consolidation with these lower lows, the more it starts leaning to a potential breakdown to the downside. But at the same time, we do have a, basically record of shorts. So they might get, a quick short, it might go down, but then it might squeeze them to the upside. And then if that's the case, we could rally up to try to cover, some of this, not losses, but we're kind of lagging behind the indicator, lagging behind these moves that, traditional stocks have been doing based on the CPI. PPI data came in better than expected, right? So that's why we're seeing these in the markets. But like I said, guys, I will keep you involved and, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Turn on the bell notifications. There has been occasions where I've put out, emergency videos, secondary videos, and make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at the Crypto Zombie. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.